Welcome to another episode of JC Unplugged, and I've got a very special guest with us right now. He is the owner of Makeshift Union. He is a reality TV star, recently on Pawn Stars?
Pawn Stars, yes.
And Queer Eye?
Queer Eye. And another
Queer Eye.
episode of Pawn Stars.
2 episodes of Pawn Stars.
And 2 episodes of Queer Eye.
Ooh, it is
Look
Buffalo Larry. What's up, buddy?
How are you?
Listen, if they had, I know we've got the mayor of Las Vegas, but if we had a mayor of downtown, you could easily run and you would easily win. You are the mayor of downtown, my friend.
Wow. Thank you.
Of course,
I like that.
You opened, we have 42 minutes to go. I need longer than that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I've been told that several times that I should run for mayor of the Arts District or mayor of downtown. I did go to City Hall and, suggest it, and I wasn't allowed in the building. So
they're not going to have a mayor for a 4-block area. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. Yeah. You opened Makeshift Union back in 2016.
That's correct.
The journey for almost the past 10 years. How has it been?
It's been awesome. It's been a great learning experience. I feel like I've grown a lot. I had never owned a business before. I had run a small business behind the chair for, 15 years before that in a couple different salons. But, owning and operating a space and being responsible for the livelihood of, 10 to 12 other people, that's been challenging, rewarding, fulfilling, stressful. It's great though. I wouldn't trade it for anything. For all the challenges, I have really enjoyed it, and especially in this part of town.
Well, I was going to say, what inspired you? Because, and Larry and I have been friends since 2016. He cuts my hair. He's one of my closest friends out there. So I know a lot about you, but what inspired you to go downtown, to go to that specific spot? Because the downtown you're in now wasn't the downtown 10 years ago. You were the first guy on the block. What inspired you to go down to that exact location?
Well, it was the first building that we looked at. It was recommended to me by a good friend of mine, John Bender, who owns Cornish Pasty Company. We have the same landlord, and he said, "Hey, I know he's trying to fill this building. There's a lot of potential. We're looking at the 5 and 10 year plan." And the block, it's kind of funny. It's if you were to see it back when I started, you would not even recognize it. But I don't know. I liked the character of the building. I liked the grit. I always saw myself as a downtown person, and I wanted to bring a luxury brand to that. So that's. Oh, and I was also inspired by one of my favorite businesses in downtown Detroit called Harry the Hatter, which was a high-end hat maker that started in the Roaring 20s, and then through the Great Depression ended up being in one of the worst neighborhoods of Detroit, but survived all the way to the pandemic.
Really?
And I wanted to be like that.
Why did he close shop? Because of the pandemic, or it's just the fact that he's been in business for 100 years and he was getting tired?
Well, I don't know if it was Harry.
It's not Harry. Darn it!
Right.
I gotta close up, guys.
Yeah. I imagine it was just the pandemic. They finally hit their this is our out. I think unfortunately, a lot of businesses did that. It was I don't know how to say it in a nice way, but it was a great excuse to close shop and save face. Before you lost too much money, you're this is the perfect time to get out, and nobody will really think too badly of it. And there were times after it where I was like, man, I really should have taken my out, but we stuck it out, and now I'm really glad we did, because there's so much on the horizon for this company. So
we'll get into it, because you're getting ready to open up a brand new salon on the west side of town. Before we get into that, I want to talk about, because you built up a huge list of clientele. Have you ever had to, and you hear it all the time, where someone moves to a different stylist, they change stylists, so I'm going to a new person now. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had to, on the reverse side, have you ever had to fire a client of yours? And if so, why did you fire that person?
I have. Luckily, I haven't had to do it too many times. Uh, yeah, man, I'm trying. I got to put it delicately. It's usually just a mismatch of personalities. It's not the technical skill. It's it's like it's kind of like a breakup. Like, hey, this isn't working out. I really enjoyed myself, but I don't think this is it for me. And there was only one time that really stands out. I mean, I've been doing this a long time, so there probably were other times that I just don't remember. But one time, I think it was last year, where I was in the middle of a haircut and I took the cape off this person and I said, I'm sorry, I can't do this.
No.
Yeah, it was. Now the good news is that person still comes here. They were here the other day, and I said hello, and they were very happy with their hair, and that means that I made the right decision anyway. For them too. It wasn't just for me.
But you're mid haircut and just say, I can't do this. And what, did you tap someone else to step in and finish the haircut?
I had already cut their hair twice in this appointment. Their hair was already cut. Like I did one haircut, that wasn't it. So I did another one, and I'm saying they because I don't know. I don't want to like. I get it was a guy anyway,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
he's just. I mean, while I'm trying to cut his hair, he's like grabbing and my assistant was watching me like, oh, like I mean, the whole salon was actually like trying to pretend like they weren't watching what was happening,
Yeah.
but I mean the tension that was coming off of me, it was like radiating, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, like. And I'm like, I'm a pretty fun guy behind the chair, and I'm like, like taking these deep breaths, and I just said, man, I'm done. I got to stop. Like, I have to call it here, and don't pay for your haircut. I hope you find what you're looking for, basically.
Celebrity clients. The biggest
Yeah.
celebrity client, who was it?
Well, after you,
After JC Fernandez from 8 News Now.
yeah, Kyle Payne for sure.
It's right. He cut Kyle's hair. You actually,
Um,
there's a laundry list of employees from Channel 8 that come to see you. I think actually, anytime there's a new reporter that comes into town, they just by default they go see you first to get
yeah,
that first haircut. So yeah, there's
yeah,
behind me.
not,
There's a
yeah,
plethora of men and women that come down to Makeshift Union.
yeah. I do have a cool list of celebrity clients that I've done, and it's this is fun because I don't actually talk about it that often because I'm more in I'm more into like the day to day. Like I love establishing these relationships. Like you do a celebrity once, it's like whoop de do. The one celebrity that I had for an extended period of time was Wayne Gretzky. Um,
Really?
yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Oh
How did
my
this
gosh,
happen?
it was so cool. So I worked at the MGM. I worked for a celebrity stylist named Christoph. Christoph became famous in the late 80s and early 90s. He was in a lot of movies. He was famous for doing the Clintons on Air Force One, and they stopped it on the tarmac. You were probably in DC when this
I,
happened. That
no,
was
but
my boss.
really.
Yeah. So I was working for him at the MGM, and we had a rotating celebrity clientele. And Wayne Gretzky, well, actually Wayne's wife Janet, she was a client of the salon, and she found out that I was a hockey fan, and she's like, "Oh, I'll bring Wayne in." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that would be amazing." So he comes in, and I think what he enjoyed about me was that all we did was talk about hockey. That's it. Like it was like, and it was like regular conversation, not like, "Wow, you're like the greatest hockey player ever." It was like
Uh,
talking about hockey as a sport. Um, like because I knew Detroit Red Wings like from back in the day. Because hockey players are like regular people. They're not like celebrities, really. They're like that's that's why it's my favorite sport because they're just regular guys that go through life and it's like, yeah, I'm the greatest, but whoop de doo. And so he and I were just talking, and so he just started booking with me regularly. He had a guy in L.A. His name was Kano, I believe. I don't remember, but and it was really cool. And I started telling my dad, like, yeah, I'm doing Wayne Gretzky's hair. He's like, oh, cool, and like, because to him, it's like so far. It's like, oh, that sounds neat, but he's not
yeah.
here, and and so Wayne, one time he said, "Hey, next time I'm in town, I'm going to bring you a surprise." And I was like, "Oh, cool!" Like I'm
He
thinking like a
never came back.
jersey. Yeah, I'm thinking like a jersey or a stick or something like that. And he came in with Brett Hull. Brett Hull is one of the other greatest hockey players of all time. And he was a Detroit Red Wing at one time. And he was like, "Now don't give him a better haircut just because he played for Detroit." And
No way.
yeah, and they came in and they were having a few beers and they like we were having a great time. And I told Brett, I said, "Man, if my dad knew," and he goes, "Call him." And
No.
so I called my dad and I go, "Hey Dad, guess whose hair I'm cutting?" And he goes, "Let me guess, Wayne Gretzky again." And Brett Hull grabs my phone and he goes, "Hey Larry's dad, this is Brett Hull." And like I know that that was probably like one of my dad's proudest moments.
Yeah.
Um, so though that was like the one regular celebrity that I had. I started at Green Valley Ranch when I was 21 years old, and I think on my second day I did Jason Priestley.
That's
Um,
big. Yeah.
yeah,
90210. Yeah.
um, yeah, it was funny because I was like, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I was on that show. That's right. That's great." Um, I did Rob Lowe, Sharon Stone. Flavor Flav. I've done several more hockey players here: George Peros, Derek England, Braden McNabb.
You did
Um,
Bryce. Did you do Bryce Harper for a little bit? Did you still
oh
do
yeah,
Bryce's
well
hair?
yeah, I did Bryce Harper's hair when he was a kid, and it was funny because I worked with his sister at a salon here called Square, and this was when he was in high school, and she was like, "Yeah, my brother's a famous baseball player." I'm like, "In high school, like." That's
Yeah.
not a.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, whoop de doo. He plays
Sure.
baseball. Yeah, okay. And then, and then one day he came in and he was signing Sports Illustrated. I was like, oh wow. I was like, I thought you were 12. And it was cool because he goes pro and he goes and he can have anybody cut his hair. And then one of my stylists, Keller, who you get your hair done by as well, he booked with her and he walked in and he goes, "Larry?" I was like, "Hey." He goes, "Is this your salon?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh my gosh, this is so awesome." And yeah, so that was cool.
But what I love too about your salon is I remember a couple times just sitting there. You can see the chairs behind you, the waiting chairs there, and I'm just sitting there. And next to me is Shin Lim.
But yeah. Oh, Carrot Top too.
Carrot Top.
Good old Scott,
Scott has
my
been on my
buddy.
show. His first guest on JC Unplugged was Carrot Top.
I love that guy, man. He is just one of the coolest dudes. Um, Scott, I mean Carrot Top, excuse me.
I call him Top. Top.
Top, yeah.
Hey, what's up, Top? He's a sweet
Um,
guy.
I'm trying to think. Billy Duffy from the Cult, the band The Cult. I get like that's where I get starstruck. Musicians, like I think, not so much anymore, but that like when I was younger, that was like really my jam was musicians.
But when you're cutting hair, how does it work? Because I see you twice a week, so I'm in there a lot, and you'll be cutting my hair, and we're having laughs and conversations, and you're mid cut, and then you step away to do something for whatever reason, and then you come back, and you know exactly where to pick up. Like
Oh,
how
okay.
that always amazes me. Is that like if you're out cutting your lawn and you stop, you walk out, obviously you can see where you stop cutting the grass, or
Yeah.
or is it just a skill you have?
No, it is the same. I mean, you pick up just like when I cut your hair and I can tell like, oh, this isn't my haircut. It's like I just know what it's supposed to look like where like when I pick up a section. That's it. It is just like cutting your lawn actually. Like you would see, like the different levels or like remember like like the different colors. Like when you push one way and you go the other way,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
like that. It's like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he'll step away and come back. I'm like, he's not going to know where he picked. And all of a sudden, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
big things are coming your way. You're getting ready to open up a second salon on the
Yeah.
west side of town. Is it going in the Bend?
Yes, it's called The Bend. It is at Sunset and Durango. It's a pretty cool complex, and I'm very excited. And I think I'll play a bigger role than just being a business owner there. Because there's a common area, like a courtyard, and the plan is to put a stage there, and there will be like I want to book shows there, events like small concerts, And there's like a lawn, and I think people will like lay out, you know, blankets and have picnics and stuff. It's really cool. I think I don't think I don't even think the other businesses see what can be yet, you know, unburdened by what has been.
Well, you're a visionary, and I've seen that with the salon, with the products that you've launched. How was this process of getting ready to open up a second salon? Has it been easy? Are you nervous? Are you getting sleep at night? Walk me through the process of getting ready to open up. A lot went into opening that first shop, 10 years of huge success. Now you're going into the second one. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's a roller coaster, honestly. I was actually just talking to a friend of mine who's I look up to him a lot. He built up a great business. His name is James Swanson. He built a company called Screaming Images, and they're the ones who they put the Golden Knights jersey on the Statue of Liberty. Um, they're the ones who do the sides of casinos, printing but he started out making stickers for bands, you know. And so I told him about the new salon, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm thinking. And he goes, yeah, that's what you're supposed to feel. And then you're gonna get there and you're gonna be like, oh, that's right, this is amazing. But that cycle can happen every day too, like over and over again. Like, what am I doing? Oh yeah, this is fun. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Um so I have not slept. I have had a lot of sleepless nights, but then I also have days like yesterday, I woke up and I felt like I could do anything.
Yeah.
I had an amazing phone call first thing in the morning with a pretty big brand, and we're talking to them about becoming a concept salon for this new brand. Like they want to I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's, there's days like that where I'm like, oh yeah, I can handle anything now.
When you say brand, is it a product that wants to come into your salon, or someone else that wants to?
Yes, it's a product line, and they saw, like some stuff that I posted about the salon, and they're like, we've been looking for a Las Vegas, flagship, basically. It's called a concept salon, and we would even possibly turn it into an academy where we are inviting other stylists in to learn techniques and product knowledge and stuff like that. Um, the reason I don't want to name it is because it's still just we're just talking,
Sure.
but even though just conversations like that make me feel invincible,
Yeah.
you know. But again, it's like this every day, all day. It's not like, one day is all up here and then another day is down here. It's like, it's a constant,
That's life
roller
too,
coaster. Yeah,
every day up and down. Do
yeah.
you want to talk about what the plan is? Are you going to have two locations? Is it going to be Larry downtown, Larry, and then Summerlin, Larry? Do you want to talk about the plans going forward?
Always be a downtown Larry, but there will not always be a downtown makeshift union, unfortunately. Yeah. The plan was to have two locations. Um, And, it wasn't an easy decision, but we've decided just to move as opposed to expand into two locations. I just don't see it being sustainable. Like I have other concepts that I would like to do, and I would love to do them down here, but there's not enough of me to be at both places.
Mhm.
And and what's cool is my staff team. This team is amazing, and I'm slowly trying to get them to be me when I'm not there. But that takes time, and it also I need to be better too. Like I need to learn to be a better leader. And like 10 years in, I'm still some days I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I need to be able to I need my personality and brand to permeate all of them as well. And until I can do that, I can't like I'll be spread too thin, and it would be like watered down. And like people can tell when I'm out of town versus out of the salon.
Well, yes, and I was just going to speak to that because I've been there a few times when you're out of town and I popped in or whatever. But your presence is still felt. The brand is still there. You built a strong brand. It's a very unique salon. So it's still when you walk in there, I still feel your presence, but it is not the same when you're not there. That energy, because you're the energy behind the salon. The energy is not the same, but you built up a really strong staff, amazing stylists, and you do feel a presence when you walk into the building.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean that means a lot, and that's all I've ever wanted. And I hope to keep that rolling, and just keep getting better. Because if I can't leave the shop without people feeling that, then I can never expand. I'll
Yeah.
never be able to. Um, you know what I mean? It would, I'm trying to like if Colonel Sanders had to be in, they're cooking chicken every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he can't be
No,
in there
I
cooking
want
the
him to
chicken.
cook it.
He's got to be the spokesperson out there, selling
Right?
franchises.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you this story. It's funny. I was talking to one of our interns here at Channel 8, and somehow you came up and where I get my hair cut, and they knew of Buffalo Larry. And she's like, "Oh, you see Buffalo Larry?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And she's like, "It's makeshift union." I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." And she goes, "How long has he had the clothing shop too?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, I've been to his clothing shop, but I haven't been to his salon."
Buffalo
I'm like,
Exchange.
he sells shirts and stuff in his salon. She goes, "No, like his clothing shop around the corner." I'm like, "You talking about
That's
Buffalo
awesome.
Exchange?" She goes, "Yeah, is that not his?" I go,
I love
"No."
it. Buffalo Larry's Exchange.
She thought Buffalo Larry from Makeshift Union owned Buffalo Exchange. I thought
I'll
that was it.
take it.
All right.
Buffalo Wild Wings,
That's yours as well. The
also
Bills, too.
mine.
Your football team is incredible.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Hmm.
you very much.
You were just on Pawn Stars.
Yeah.
How did that happen, and what role were you playing on Pawn Stars?
Uh, man. Well, I've actually known Corey Harrison for a long time. I mean, probably 15 years. I was actually in
Pre-show?
commercial. Yeah, yeah, Big Hoss.
Yeah.
I was actually in commercials for Pawn Stars before I was ever on Pawn Stars.
You were in a
Uh,
commercial for it?
well, like the teasers for the new season,
Yeah.
and like there's a really cool one, and like like we're all on our motorcycles doing burnouts and stuff. It's really cool.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. Um, but we would just ride motorcycles together, and then um, all these years later, a new client came to me. His name is Misha. You know Misha. Um, he came to me, and his girlfriend was the producer for Pawn Stars. And I was like, "Oh man, I want to like." At this time, I owned Sonic Rodeo, which is the guitar shop and studio down the street. And I said, "I want to be the guitar guy for the show since my friend Jesse is no longer in town, and he was the guitar guy. Even though I have no knowledge compared to Jesse. I said, I don't care. I want to be the guitar guy." And so instead, when they needed a guitar for the show, like, "Hey, we need to mix it up. We need because that's what they do. They it's not that it's fake, but they say like, "Hey, we need a car. We need a get, like stuff like that. Like you can't just have people coming in with baseball cards all the time." So, or like, swords. I don't know what people.
There's always a lot of swords.
Yeah, lots of swords. Yeah. So, one day they said, "Hey, do you have any like really cool guitars or really unique guitars?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And I actually did. I had this really unique and rare guitar, and they had me bring it on. And yeah, and then for another episode, they actually brought Rick into Sonic Rodeo, and he was looking at three rare guitars that we had.
Buy from you.
Yeah, and
But
he bought
now,
two of them.
when he walks into that second episode and he's like, "Hey, you're Larry who just sold me the guitar." Like, is it intertwined, the two episodes?
He didn't remember me at all. He's like, "Hey, bud, nice to meet you." I'm
I just did an episode with you
like Rick, we've met 100 times, but whatever.
and
That's-
on your show.
yeah,
Misha is the car expert on Pawn Stars. So when Danny Coker left
yeah,
to do Counting Cars, Misha stepped in as the car expert on that show.
yeah.
And Divine Customs is his shop downtown, and his shop is incredible. And he builds for
Yeah.
Jason Momoa, and he builds for a bunch of celebrities and stuff. And his work is just out of this world.
Well, he's about to. I mean, he's going to be one of my celebrity clients for sure. Like, even if he's like, I don't want to call him unknown, but like, there's a car that he just built, and when this person like posts it, like he's, I mean, he's set, in my opinion.
He
Like,
built
he
it
will
for
be a
he built it
celebrity
for a
car.
celebrity, or
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to say because like they haven't like unveiled it or anything.
yeah, no, I haven't seen anything. What car is it? The Trans
It,
Am, or
no, it's a 1927 Rolls Royce for a very famous person, and they did a very unique build. And he teamed up with Christian Sosa from Sosa Metalworks, who's another friend of mine, and they built one of the coolest cars I've ever seen. And I just know that when this guy drives it around and tells people who built it, like these Misha, Christian, they're set.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love watching it come together, and hopefully I can just like hold on to their coattails,
That's what I
I'll
like
see in
about
the
you.
back,
You
like you
you
know,
cheer on other people's success. You're not bothered by
yeah,
your friend's success, and you sit there and you root your friends on. And
I
because of
love it.
you, I got to meet some of these great people downtown and see their rise. Misha built that. Jason Momoa was married to Lisa Bonet, right?
I don't know, was he? I thought that was Lenny Kravitz.
Okay, Lenny. Yeah, but then Lenny Kravitz got a divorce, and Lisa Bonet was with Jason Momoa,
Dang.
and so J- Jason Momoa tracked down Lisa Bonet's Mustang that she had when she was 16 and
Really?
had Misha. Either this is
Oh,
spot on or I dreamt this whole thing. And Misha built that Mustang that Jason Momoa gave to Lisa Bonet.
I had no idea.
Really?
No, that's cool though.
Yeah, that is cool. And then,
Well, okay. I mean, yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that's who he's building this car for. I don't know if I'm
okay,
supposed
well,
to say.
he's built cars with him before in the past, and he's done stuff with
Okay,
him
I didn't
before.
know that.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
see,
out there.
Misha's so like he's so humble. He doesn't tell. We don't even talk about that. We actually just talk. That's the coolest thing about this. Is like this. Like in this shop, it's everybody's chance just to be like just a person.
Yeah.
Like I learned that the hard way. Like when I told you I did Slash. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. When I did Slash's hair, it wasn't like he enjoyed himself. Like I feel it's really funny. Like so, I actually have my vintage Guns N' Roses T-shirt framed that he signed for me under duress. You know, like he's like,
Uh,
he spelled my name wrong. It's awesome, but yeah, like
Harry, thanks for
I
the haircut.
yeah,
Slash.
great hair. Um, no, like I was 21 when I cut his hair, and I don't know if you remember, he did a side project called Velvet Revolver. That
Uh-huh.
was with Scott Weiland, Duff, Matt Sorum, and Slash is in Green Valley Ranch trying to relax. He's got his brand new baby. His ex-wife Perla's there. And I'm like, so you were in Guns N' Roses? That's so cool. Appetite for Destruction is a great album. And he's like, like I and I was not picking up that he was not liking it at all. I'm like, tell me more. Like
November Rain, what happens? Does she die at the end?
yeah.
I couldn't tell.
Are you and Axel ever going to be cool again? Uh,
The hat, where do you get it from?
yeah. And so and it's funny, like I said, I learned the hard way that is not what you're supposed to do. Like they just want to be a person,
Uh-huh.
and now, like, I can honestly say that when these people do come in, it's like, hey, what's up, man? Like, hey, I don't let on that I know what they do or who they
Yeah,
are,
they're
you
there
know?
for a haircut. Well, you're also, if you're talking about music, you're in a very successful band, the Rhyolite Sound. How are things? Why are you laughing?
I don't know, because I that's just not how I would describe my band.
It's very successful.
Very loud.
It's allowed. It's honky tonk.
Yeah, yeah, like rowdy, honky tonk, rock and roll. Um, yeah, yeah, I mean, yes, we have been successful, and it's just funny to say that, like, but looking back at like teenage me, if I knew that I was going to be doing what I do now, I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Right. It's
You
pretty
know,
cool when you step back and look at your life,
it
right?
is. You're right. You're right. I
Yeah,
should
you're right. Go
just
on. Yeah, yeah.
no, I should just own it.
Yeah, you
Instead of
should.
like you said, oh yeah, like I don't want to brush it off because you're right. Like I have had a lot of really cool opportunities because of that. I mean, yeah, like
Did you play with Willie Nelson?
yeah, we did at his house in Austin, Texas, at Luck Ranch, which he sold a couple years ago. But yeah, we played. He does a festival there called the Luck Reunion, and we played that with him, and it was pretty amazing. Like the stage we were playing on was right next to his home, and we could see him like upstairs, like looking down on the stage while we were playing. It was surreal for sure.
Do you think if you weren't doing this salon and you were 100% focused in the band would be at an even higher level?
I know that for a fact, actually. But I'm a dad. I don't. Every time I've gone on the road, like since having a kid, I'm like, man, I just want to go home. Like I. That's why we don't tour. We only do one-off shows. Like, I think it was 2 years ago when we went to Europe, and
Oh, that's
man,
right.
that was like that was torture for me. Like, just
Me
to be
too. I
away.
had nowhere to get my hair cut. I was in a panic. Like, what?
Yeah, just to be away from my family for that long. And but yeah, I do know that, like, and I don't mind that I didn't pursue music as much. I don't mind that. I don't have any regrets. Like, my life here is awesome. I love coming to work every day. I love the people that I work with, so I don't regret that at all. Because being a musician, I mean, it can be a grind. It's not like I'd be famous. I just think that I could make money as
Hmm.
a musician. But I'd much rather I prefer the one-on-one experience of doing hair.
And what song? A song of yours is played during the Golden Knights game.
Several times, yeah, yeah, several times. We've
Yeah, I saw that. So, someone wanted to get on the action. Hey,
come on in.
what's going on?
Yeah, like so my friend and a client of the shop, he was the music director for T-Mobile Arena. And well, that sounds like he did me a favor. It's not like it's a bad song, right?
It's a good song. Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. We've had three songs play at games, on the Jumbotron and stuff. And that was cool. Like, the first time the whole band went together and we got to like capture it. But then the other times, like, it was cool. We were getting tagged like regularly on Instagram. And that's a really cool feeling.
Tell her what's the song. Tell everyone the song.
Uh, I think the first time was Trainwreck. And I suggested that because there's like a train horn in the song. And I thought that went along with like the goal horn in hockey. And then they played a song called I Think Too Much When I Drink Too Much. And that showed up in an Adrian Brody movie, which was really cool.
You get an IMDb credit from that, right?
I don't know. I still haven't looked it up, even though we talked about it the other day.
I'm gonna
And
look it up.
then the third time was a song called The Day My Daddy Died, which was written and composed by my lead guitarist, James Castleton. And that's still probably my favorite song that we do.
It's a great song. I'm looking you up on IMDb right now.
Oh, really?
You never looked it up?
No. I mean, I don't know.
And wouldn't it should be on there too for Pawn Stars and then also for
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, I hadn't even thought of it until you brought it up the other day. It would be cool if I had an IMDb. I don't know.
we're not by your name.
No,
No. Lawrence or Larry?
both. I don't. I assume it would show up as Lawrence because I think on the album I'm listed as Lawrence. I don't know. I don't even
Yeah.
look. I don't even look at our albums.
Your product, you launched your own line of product as well, which I was a huge fan of. What's going on with the
You
product?
were.
I still
I
am.
was a huge fan.
There was a slight formula change that doesn't
Formula
agree with
One.
my hair.
No, it's back. We're it's the exact same.
How
No, no, it's not.
how is it? I mean, that's a big thing. What was the show that was on E? I think it was E, like maybe 15 years ago. Was it Jonathan Anton? Was that his name?
Yeah, yeah,
And I remember he was launching a product line. That was when an entire season was about him. He had a shop in West Hollywood, cut hair, and he
yeah.
was launching a product. And I was captivated by that whole process of putting together product, testing the way it holds, the smell. How was it for you launching your own product line that you have?
Well, I mean, I guess I'll be honest and kind of like vulnerable. It could have been better if I tried harder. And that, I mean, man, I could say that about a lot of different things in my life, unfortunately. Um, it does really well within the shop. I mean, it's our number one seller. It is made here in Las Vegas. I think one of the things that I struggle with is the availability of the products. For like I've been scared to push it outside of our salon for fear of being able to keep up with like demand if it actually took off. I'm afraid of success, I guess, in that. If I'm being honest, like if I had to
What
buy
scares you about?
5,000 units, like that's scary.
But you would only buy 5,000 units if you had a demand for 5,000 units, right?
Um, Not necessarily. Like there are certain products that like the light clay that you loved.
Hmm.
The reason that isn't available anymore is because in order for them to make a new batch of it, I would have to order 5 to 10,000 units of it.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that is scary to me.
It's a
That is
lot of
like
hair product.
that is anywhere from that could be $50,000, and
Yeah.
I only have $58,000 in the bank.
Yeah. No, I get it. Either way, it's a big investment.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, and then there's a lot of other things that come with it, like the logistics of packing it, shipping it. You know what I mean? Like then you got to come up with additional packaging. You know, get it to a warehouse that packs it for you and ships it out. Fulfillment centers. And I guess at this stage of my life, I just don't have the bandwidth for it, or I choose not to have the bandwidth.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do you have
Yeah.
do you have a date for the new salon? When it's going to
I
open up? I
do.
know you're still in the process of working out
Well,
logistics and walkthroughs and everything, but do you have a date for the new salon?
as we speak,
Hmm.
the new shop is going through its final inspection for fire safety. Once we pass that, I can start moving all of our chairs and stations in, which is pretty awesome. Like that's a big step. And then on Monday, we have a final building inspection. After that, then I can move product, tools, plants, decor, stuff like that. So my goal is May 20th. And I mean, barring some huge catastrophe, that's what we're going to go with. So we will
That's
close.
great.
Thanks. We will, we've always been closed Sundays and Mondays.
I
So,
know.
wha- sorry.
I
um,
know you got a family, but
yeah,
seriously, there's some Sundays
yeah.
where I want to get in there and get a haircut.
You got to go to church again.
Larry, the Lord over my hair. Come on, Larry.
Right. Um, so my goal is, I believe it'd be so like that we close for business here Saturday the 18th, and I'm just moving everything Sunday,
Wow.
Monday,
Two
and we
days to
are
get everything
opening
over.
on Tuesday up there.
That's crazy.
Now the cool thing is like let's say that didn't work out, we do still have this place to work out of if there was some giant problem. But I don't see that happening. I mean, we will have 3 weeks to get that place comfortable and working and, learning how everything works, like, where do the hampers go? Or, how does this washing machine work?
Well, what's something being and you know I've talked about it a couple times, but what's something that being a salon owner that most people might not realize you have to deal with, like your water bill or just the quality of water? Because think about it, how many sets of hair, people's hair, are you washing every single day, or like you said, like doing the laundry and getting the towels? What's something we might not understand that a salon owner goes through?
Hmm. Oh my gosh, that's a good question. Let me think.
Because you have to all the towels you use, every single customer comes through. You wash their hair. That's a lot of water. That's a
Yeah,
lot
well,
of towels you go through as well.
that is a good point. I actually just had this conversation yesterday. Somebody was trying to sell me on laundry service. And I said, I don't think you can even keep up with us for one day because I did do a trial run one time with a linen company. And they said, we want to provide your towels. We wash them all. You give them to us every week. And I said, okay, let's do a trial run. Give me, a bundle of towels. We made it 4 hours
No.
with their towels. And he was like, and I called him. I said, "Hey, we need new towels." He's like, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, we're already through the towels you gave me." So yeah, like since this shop has opened, I've probably gone through 8 different washer dryer combos because we are running laundry all day, every day through, through business hours.
Yeah.
You know, uh, something that's challenging as a not just a salon owner, but as a business owner is, dealing with client satisfaction. And sometimes no matter reviews and stuff can be weaponized against you, no matter how well you think you're doing. Like people can, and I don't mean to sound like a victim, but they're, unfortunately, sometimes people will hold a review over your head to get what they want, even if you did your best work. That's a challenge. And I mean, and in this day and age, everything is like rapid. So, um, a couple weeks ago, I was at dinner with my fiance, and while she was talking, my phone goes off, and it's a 1-star review, and I'm like, and immediately she can tell I'm not listening. So now I'm dealing with 2 unhappy people. So that's a challenge, is that work doesn't stop, uh, you know, and it's always about, I always have to keep a face no matter what. Oh, that's another thing. I everywhere I go, I'm representing my business.
Yeah.
I've been known to be a rowdy and sometimes a abrasive character, like before I owned a business, and it was my partner who said, "You better snap out of it, man. You are representing this company every second of every day, everywhere you go."
Is that the guy that cuts my hair? He just cut me
Like,
off on the highway.
well, yeah, and yeah, like, and that's I used the band and for a long time as my escape, like where I was kind of like a character where I could let out certain, I could let certain stuff out as the front man of that band, you know?
There's an outlet for you.
Yes, exactly.
Well, listen, Larry, I'm so happy for success. I'm happy we
Thank you.
got to do this show together.
Thank you very much.
You and I have been friends for the past 10 years, and I love and
I'm
cherish
hoping
our
for many
friendship.
more. Yeah,
Many, many,
likewise.
many, many, many more years.
Yep, absolutely.
And I will see you tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock.
Thank you. Have a great day. This was a lot of fun. I hope to
Thanks,
do it
Larry.
again.